So it's not a tournament that people like necessarily followed avidly, but it's a tournament that a lot of people, you know, that's a lot of money to actually bank from a single tournament. So good stuff from Hurricane last year, but since then he hasn't really done a whole lot. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, of course, we have a guy like Zest, who has won a GSL championship, who looks pretty darn formidable when we see him in Pro League from time to time as well for KT Rolster. So curious to see if he's actually going to be able to pull this one out. Clear favorite, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Clear favorite for sure. Hurricane scouting around his natural look with a probe. A little bit worried of case there were any proxies. This is just a best of 3 as well, so something to keep in consideration for this series. But overall, Zest doesn't really care too much. Had a quick look inside his main base, but hasn't gone to the natural anything until after the Cybercore, and is looking currently with only 2 and 2 in gas at the moment. It's not the highest amount of gas income that he could have. Definitely could have been in 3 and 3 already. So he's actually going to bank a little bit more minerals, and with his Nexus waypoint, I think he's going double gateway.
Yeah, looks
just
like
because he's got a bit of a higher mineral income to gas usually, so he's got a bit of an extra set of minerals.
Yeah, Hurricane's going to poke in here and see that second gateway go down straight away. So you can be anticipating, you know, quite a few Stalkers coming out. That's normally what you go to here. You can go for a Sentry, but Stalker's the normal go-to.
The double gateway build's quite an old one. It's like, it really masks a lot of what you're up to, because you could be going for like 3, 5 Stalkers. You could be going for a Stalk into double Sentry to an expansion. So it's really hard as you go in with a probe to actually figure out what's going on. You don't know anything of what this could be at the moment.
And Hurricane, Zest for now even, did have a probe in here and spotted his opponent's second gateway as well. Being pushed away by the Mothership core, he gets a good idea as to really what's going on his opponent's side of the map, because, to be fair, the builds are very, very similar at this point.
Yeah, Zest is going to boost into the Cybercore and is also moving around to the left-hand side with his probe, so I think he's going to be a lot more aggressive than his opponent, we'll see. Or at least potentially, especially with the map control he's about to take. Whoop. But both Twilight Councils coming in from both.
This probe sneaked around the other probe very, very carefully there. And lucky for Zest, Hurricane for now, bringing back his Mothership core, doesn't want to get caught out in the middle of the map. And Stalker will meet another Stalker. But with the help of the Mothership core, Hurricane should be able to push that away.
He does push that away. But it is going to be Zest being the aggressor. As you can see, he's got the probe on the other side of the map. Hurricane's is up to the top left for some reason.
I guess
Dark Shrine, I guess?
Shrine, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit late, though. Look, his Twilight Council's finished up.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
So Blink versus Dark Shrine most likely here, with the pylon up to the north.
Yeah.
Zest has got the Mothership core, and he might be able to see the Twilight Council. There's nothing really that can push this back. Well, unless he flies into a Stalker, okay.
Yeah. Do you think this anything prompted the Dark Shrine? Because it is a little bit later. Do you think Hurricane spotted something to push him towards the Dark Shrine instead of going for Blink?
I think he already had plans for it.
Tricky guy. He's chrono boosting, but there's nothing researching. If Zest was really on point, he could notice that there was nothing researching.
He gets the robo down straight away. He's not
falling for that. That was weird.
And look at Zest, he's even checking to the top left.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That was really weird. Like,
he spots it. He spots the Dark Shrine.
Did he have any gas to actually start the Blink? Or was it just...
No, he didn't have enough money.
Okay.
All right, so, you know, Zest in a pretty favorable position right now. Hurricane does go ahead and... throw the Nexus down immediately. So it's not a terrible position when this gets scouted. To be honest, you don't really even need to try to use a Dark Templar, to be honest. So.
Yeah, just the fear of Dark Templars can set his opponent back just a little bit.
Yeah, and if you think about it, the Nexus is quite a big difference between the two of them.
I would actually, cancel the Dark... Did he see the probe actually spot it? Because the Stalkers were heading up to that left-hand corner to maybe try and kill it.
I don't know.
That would have been...
but, I mean, Zest has seen it. I mean, that's the most important part. I'm not sure if Hurricane knows that it's been spotted, but...
It's a lot of Stalkers, actually. It's a lot of Stalkers. 6 against 3 at the moment. He's going to try and apply some pressure. There is an Observer on the way.
Aggressive, yeah. Observer on his way. Mothership core there. He'd need to warp in some more units.
Little blur next to these Stalkers.
If he gets a cancel, though.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And all that gas sank into the Dark Templars meant that the Immortal couldn't start that quickly.
And he's going to let this Dark Templar get some damage done inside this main.
Where's the Observer? There was one Observer out, but it was heading across the other side. So
yeah, this is a bit annoying, this. This is like a double mind game. It's because you're like, I spotted it. He surely can't try it anyway, but he does. And
jeez.
He gets 8 kills. This is a really, really, really good start. If the Nexus goes down, it's not the end of the world either. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
You can't even... I don't think you can protect it. Well, double foot and overcharge, but it'll go down anyway, I think. Well, no, not with the Dark Templar there, maybe
Yeah,
not.
and he's buying time for the Immortals to come out, right? So, I mean, this is not too bad for Hurricane. We might see a Sentry come out for Zest to try and force field the ramp.
Zest can't let this Nexus stay alive.
Yeah.
He actually needs to kill it.
Considering how many probes he just lost.
Yeah, he needs to kill that Nexus.
He
has to. You can't sit back.
Yeah.
You got to go for it.
Blink control could be good here to be able to deal with this, but that's still a lot of stock. Okay, 12
Second
against
Immortal.
4. Yeah.
Second Immortal. You've got to kill this Nexus and then try to get you way back into the game. He's got to go for it.
All right, trying to take down a few Stalkers during all of this, kind of bringing down those numbers. But even if he brings that down and then the Photon Overcharge dissipates, there's energy for another Photon Overcharge. So it's difficult. And he's actually warping in Zealots. This is kind of like a all-or-nothing strat. He's going to have to use the Zealots to tank stuff and get as much damage done as possible.
There's another Photon Overcharge. There's a third Immortal coming in.
All right, he's going to go once again. The Zealots tanking a little bit at the front here, whilst the Stalkers try and bring down the first Immortal. But there's 2 more extra here that are going to dish out a lot of damage. This blink-in was basically Zest saying, I have to win. I have to do something right now.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's a catastrophe.
Yeah. Jumps into 3 Immortals and Zealots, just chopping away everything. And Hurricane's in a brilliant position now. And, you know, the favorite in this series, if we look at the Zest, you know, as much as you're a favorite, as much as you are the more accomplished player, Protoss versus Protoss can be deadly.
Yes, it can. And just these small decisions really can weigh against you. Zest now still trying to poke forwards with Stalkers on 2 flanks, but it's just not going to work. This army is way too big. Everything Hurricane has is better. GG. Game number 1 goes to Hurricane.
Yeah, it does. So good start there for Hurricane. Really, really good start for him. And now just a single map away from qualifying to play at the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen tournament. And now Zest got to try to figure something out here to stop this guy in his tracks. Otherwise, it will go in favor. Of course, you do get the second option. There is a lower bracket here, so it's not just all or nothing. Currently, for Zest, he's get another opportunity down in the low bracket. But, well, very simply, this is the easy way to get the plane ticket to China.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, if you are a guy that falls down into the lower bracket, there's people like Maru down there, Life down there, Deer down there as well. So you really want to win this series. You do not want to have to battle through the players down there. That would be a bit scary in itself. So, yeah, Hurricane's doing well, though.
There's a lot of Casper players in this tournament, of course. Right now, we have the good old KT versus Samsung matchup between these 2 players. But I wonder which way this is going to go.
Zest has to play like a safe stand. Like,
I think. I mean, I just think that he just overthought, or maybe was, you know, the good old classic mistake that they're saying that when you play a game of StarCraft, the better player sometimes is expecting the other guy to be on the same level of thought process, but it was not that kind of way. They're kind of double mind gaming. Because when you scout the Dark Shrine, most of the time in professional games, you don't build Dark Templar, or maybe just a single one, or you don't really use them because you know that your opponent should be ready. So if Zest is anticipating the Dark Templar not to be built, then he could be aggressive and doesn't need to think about defense. It's like this double, triple layer of mind games coming in. But at the end of the day, Hurricane was like, whatever. Yeah. I'm just gonna try it anyway. And he got 8 probe kills, and then the Nexus down really fast. And
do you think Zest could have gone up to the next Dark Shrine and killed it off with how he was positioned? Because, you know, there was gas invested. Like,
but you don't know if it's going to be cancelled or not, and he had plans to get over towards the Nexus fast enough. And
oh, wow. Yeah. So, interestingly enough, we are on the new map pool now. So, it is going to be Foxtrot Labs for our next map here. We were a little unsure. The transition between Season 2 and Season 3 maps, you know, it's just happened, basically.
Oh, okay, so we are on the new maps.
Yes.
All right, cool. We can walk through this map a little bit. I've played a lot of games in this new season already.
How are you liking it? I've played quite a few games as well.
Foxtrot, which one's this?
This is the one that's not cement. Look, it's kind of...
I mean, in PvP, it doesn't really matter as much, I don't think, the maps.
True.
Some of them help towards easier expanding towards the others. I think this is a more difficult one. But we can have a look at it once we jump in.
All right, let's get in. As game number 2 now between these guys. Hurricane currently leading 1-0. Spawning down the bottom right-hand corner, we have our teal Protoss. It is Zest. And down to the bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Protoss. It is Hurricane. So, this map, it's a weird one. It's actually it doesn't really conform to normal kind of rotationally symmetrical maps.
It is a little bit weird, this one. You've got the middle of the map, which has the 2 gold bases on it, which don't really get used until the later stages of this. But one thing to note already, that always the first thing you think about when you're playing a new map is the natural. You've got to think about how wide open it is. Because if you think this Nexus is down, you try and defend it with a couple of mortals, you get a massive Stalker arc if you go for a big Stalker play like we saw previous. So there's a lot of space. But a good benefit is how do Stalkers get into the main base if they try to run around a Nexus or something? I don't think this left-hand side, I'm not sure, but I don't think you can blink up the double ledge, right?
You can.
Oh, you can.
If you've got an observer, yeah.
So, okay, so maybe here could be a danger.
Yeah.
But if you think about the jumping back and forth between main and natural, you have to dedicate because that's a long walk around.
It really is. Yeah, I've had a few games like that, actually, and you eventually try and blink up and down. It's a bit hard. Sometimes Terrans can bunker up at the front and then completely forget about this ledge, but sometimes, eventually they will get used to that kind of thing. Which is important, of course, because Blink is still pretty strong in PvT.
So this map I've done okay on in terms of results. The other map which I've had more trouble on is is it Nim something? The other one? What's the other one called? Nimbus, yeah. Nimbus. God damn it. I'll explain if we get into that later. Yeah. That's a difficult map for Protoss.
I think what's also important to know about that kind of Blink play that you were mentioning just before is that with the positions that they spawned, it's actually different for both players because it's not rotationally symmetrical, because it's like some weird kind of symmetry. This also isn't that easy to blink up, but it is slightly different. You can shift blink up some of these areas.
But what you can do if you're playing against Hurricane here is you can jump into his main while he protects his natural potentially. From just by the ramp. It really depends on the positioning of the defender. Say, for example, if they were kind of set up the ramp, it makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, I've had quite a few games on these maps. I'm enjoying them quite a bit, actually. I really like it when new maps come along, and you just get a chance to actually experiment with them. There's one with the rocks on the ramp that's quite annoying to wall off, but I think that's whatever it's called, Nimbus.
Nimbus.
So a pretty fast Stargate coming out. It was the Mothership core first to deny any probe coming in, and then Stargate immediately instead of a Stalker or Walk Get Research.
Ooh, Twilight Council gets spotted instantly.
Yeah, spotted here. I wonder which way he's going to go here. He might try Oracle into like an Oracle expansion. He could go Phoenixes straight away.
I'm very surprised at Zest's scouting pattern. Very, very surprised. He scouted cross straight away.
I hate when players scout cross.
And he's going everywhere that isn't the right direction. I'm not sure what he's... I don't know how much he's played. I guess he's scouting out for proxies because of that probe's timing.
He's scouting out for proxies now. But he's very much so in the dark. The Mothership core can help, though. He is maybe going to get the scout, and luckily it's an Oracle, not Phoenix, for the Mothership core.
Being sneaky with it.
Yeah, he's not looking to jump in too fast here.
Yeah, he actually still doesn't know where his opponent spawned, I don't think.
Yeah, so it's Blink, 3 gateways. It should be Stargate, 3 gateways. Oh, Stargate. Oh, fast Twilight. I like this.
Ooh.
So it's like, well, first of all, Zest sees the Stargate, and he's going to spot the Twilight too. This is a really big scout. So the way that Zest is going to, Hurricane's going to play this is like the Oracle to do mass damage to then go into the same style that Zest is going for here, which is Blink. But this Mothership core's got 4 kills.
Oh, wow, nice.
And a recall. But Oracle going to go straight for the probe line.
And it looks like it's just going to suicide in, to be honest with you. So, will it survive?
Yeah, it survives. That means it can come back when shields are back up to do some more. So that's a pretty good good start. And I do like the... So with the way that Oracles work is that you can go Oracle, deal damage into something. So deal damage into a Nexus to then catch up by killing probes, or the way that this one's going to work out is kill probes, then catch up with the income and overtake with the units eventually. So they're going to the same place, just one player trying to invest some money in slowing the other down. Yeah,
and it's a pain in the butt, to be honest, for Zest, because he didn't kill that, he now has to have Stalkers all the time sat at home.
Look, I mean, did he do enough damage, really? The Mothership core slowed Hurricane down. He hasn't got Photon Overcharge. He's only just getting a couple of units out. And Zest is bringing his Mothership core and more Stalkers.
Yeah, and Zest will have Blink in a second, which is going to be a big advantage for him.
Yeah, massive.
As long as he keeps the high ground vision as well here.
Oh, there's too much.
Yeah, there's way too many Stalkers. Way too many. Even the Pylon on the high ground as well, being very, very aggressive with this. No energy for Photon Overcharge as well on this Mothership core. The Oracle is trying to get more kills over the other side of things, but the Stalkers kill that off. And this is a very, very tidy play by Zest in the end.
Blink gets cut off here.
Oh.
Yeah. And to be honest, I would say that the Mothership core was the MVP of this game for Zest.
Yeah. getting the information, getting a few probe kills.
I mean, 4 probe kills, information on what he's playing against to be able to go and do this.
Very nicely done. There you go. GG. Pretty simple game in the end.
Mothership Core MVP.
Does well. Does well.
All right, so Fast and Furious, this one. So
Zest did say he didn't have much time. So.
yeah, yeah. So now we're tied up. 1 game in for both players. 1 game to go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, good stuff. So the winner of this next game is able to actually advance on to Shenzhen, which, I'll be honest, I'll be really, really happy if Zesty actually makes it there. Zest,
yes,
he really made a fan of me back since we cast him in that Intel Extreme Masters qualifier. I think
that was the one for New York, maybe? Was it New York or Singapore? It's New York, I think, because it was the same tournament. I think that Myung-sik was doing well.
Yeah, I think it was.
And I think it was the New York one because Myung-sik went through. Zest didn't play at New York, I don't think.
It might have even been Shanghai, actually.
Yeah, maybe it was Shanghai. It was Shanghai and New York.
It was Shanghai.
Yeah, both Myung-sik and Zest were playing in all the qualifiers. I remember that then.
Yeah, and we got to see a lot of cool stuff from both of them.
Yeah, they kind of really, well, for me, more so Myung-sik than Zest. I feel, I don't know why, but in my mind, I'm like, good old Myung-sik days in the Intel Extreme Masters qualifiers. Yeah. More so than Zest. I know they both played, but Zest was doing good then, but not as good as Myung-sik was, because he was the guy just kind of shot onto the scene and Mass Phoenix play in every matchup.
Yeah, it was really cool.
He was doing it in the qualifiers back then.
It was very, very nice to watch. I want more Myung-sik.
More Myung-sik.
He's cool. All right, let's get into game number 3, as these guys are tied up 1 apiece. And yay, they've picked some better colors, as we have spawning up to the top left-hand corner. It is KT Rolster's Zest. And down to the south, we have our red Protoss player. It's Samsung Galaxy's Hurricane.
So one thing to note on any 3 or 4 player maps, which the new map pool has kind of pushed itself towards now, there's only, is it 1 2-player map? It's only Overgrowth now, right?
Is King Sejong not in anymore?
Yeah, okay, 2. So with only 2.
Okay.
Yeah, this map pool's not updated. I actually don't even know. I'd have to check. It's very small though. It's like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
I think just 2 maps.
Then we've got lots of 4 players and
lots of 4
2
players.
3 players.
And in PvP, the way that this works is that you are less likely to encounter proxy gates and stuff. Because obviously on a 4 or 3-player map, it's much harder to make that work.
Yeah.
But you can still have aggressive builds like this instead, which is an 11 gateway, which usually is for a 3 gateway, or if not, for a rushed out Mothership Core and Stalker for pressure, but usually 3 gateway. So you'll be looking at saving up Chrono Boost, getting into the Warp Gate research, and just kind of hitting your opponent pretty fast. And that works really well against players who take double gases, who don't really scout very early, and are looking to go for some kind of tech choice just off a single gateway.
Yeah, you're right. There is actually, you were mentioning proxies just before, there is a spot on Deadwing, I believe, right in the middle. There is a dead zone for like watchtowers and things like that you can proxy, but it's so far away from every location. It's like the metagame player, right? It's like you are never expecting me to proxy gates. So you can, but it's really a bit of a wild play.
Look how fast the Cybercore is already. 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's
15 counting. You know, you got like, what, 16-second advantage, and then all the Chrono Boost that's going to go in.
Exactly.
And on top, Zest is scouting in the incorrect way, so he may not even be able to get a probe scout in to find out what's going on. If the Mothership Core's rushed out here, it can block it.
Even if the soccer comes out, like
Anything,
I mean, very similar to what we saw Stardust doing in WCS EU. With the timing of this scout, a Stalker can be out in time to be able to prevent this.
But even if he does see what's going on, it's not like you can speed your build up anymore.
Yeah,
like Zest has already chosen his build. He's already got double gases in. He's already mined a lot of gas. And one thing that's in his favor is he hasn't used too much Chrono Boost yet. But that's going into the Mothership Core. And he's still got 1 spare. But where does he go from this? I think Hurricane's in a pretty good spot. And fortunately for Hurricane, you scout last, which is actually better than scouting first, if that makes sense. One thing you can notice, the Stalker's out really fast here. Zest is going to be like, oh, why is your Stalker out and not mine? So he should know what's going on. But the beautiful thing for Hurricane scouting last is that he can just put a pylon down without going in at all.
Yeah, Chrono's straight into the Cybernetics core as well here.
Yeah,
so Zest, from seeing that Stalker alone, he knows what's up.
He knows. And
Mothership core's already out to poke things away.
But is he going to be able to hold? Is he going to be able to hold this?
He should definitely be able to hold off this initial Stalker to begin things, which is a nice start. Oh, needs to keep his Mothership core.
He's going for a Twilight Council, so what you're looking to do here is to hold... Oh. That's good. That's very good for Zest. Good catch.
Yeah, very nice control there. As it's walking up the ramp, walk straight at it.
Yeah, almost half health Stalker there. Great start. What Zest is looking to do here is either go for Blink or DTs and survive until either one of those is done to then counter with it. And if he can survive until he gets whatever he chooses from that Twilight Council up, then he's in really, really good shape. But the question is, will he survive? And losing that probe is not good. Hurricane Pylon's quite far out now.
He's going to go for Blink to actually go for the defense.
But he's already got a Photon Overcharge just about. It's will he... The first one would keep him safe, but will he die in between the first and second Photon Overcharge, which is pretty big. Hurricane goes in, knows that he's against the timer now by seeing Blink, and he's got to go, man. He has to go fast.
He does. The advantage of Warpins, you know, isn't really that significant because... If he doesn't hit right now, the Stalker numbers are going to be pretty even. He almost got the Mothership core there. That was really, really close.
Yeah.
Jeez. But now he just has to warp in, use Photon Overcharge for holding off. Should be okay.
Oh, Zest, Photon Overcharge, man. He's trying to wait for as long as possible.
There's only one pylon on those 3 gateways. He has to be careful about that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. Does this pylon cover those on the top?
It covers the left one, not the middle one.
Okay, so...
But so far, so good. And we see Hurricane already going for Twilight Council. And Blink is almost done too, so I think that Zest has managed to survive this.
Where is this probe going? Around the top corner. But anyway, we'll
he's just getting another probe out there, I think.
Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine for Hurricane.
Well, as you can see, there's a robotics facility out now. Big risk trying to make this work.
Yeah.
If I was Zest now, I'm already starting to say, yippee!
But all in all, exactly.
Yo!
This comes off the back of seeing that one Stalker.
Yeah.
That is all of that triggered Zest to be able to do, you know, have a good defense in this game. So really good reading by Zest overall.
And Zest is just going to expand now. He's got a Sentry out, which will be for hallucinated Phoenix soon. He's got an Oracle, not an Oracle, so an Observer on the way. He's got Blink down. So the Hurricane Pylon's going to die. He's going to rebuild a Pylon, obviously, because he wants to try to get a DT in.
It was good foresight by him to actually send out that probe this early to then eventually get another another Pylon down for the Dark Templars. But he's also researching Blink. So this is pretty kind of... The Nexus is going to be so late for him.
Yeah, I like how Zest is keeping the Observer here, and he should use Hallucinated Phoenix shortly to see what's going on, but keep the Observer at home. Do not want to take damage like happened in game number 1. And he's going to spot everything. This Hallucinated Phoenix is not going to get denied. And actually, I say that, but it will.
He may even spot the probe coming from the direction up at the top, and he does. So that might trigger him to know...
He's not going to see the Dark Shrine, though. The Hallucinated Phoenix goes in the wrong way. He's going to go over all the Stalkers.
Yeah.
Sees the Nexus, but doesn't know there's a Dark Shrine behind it, but the Observer's there, so...
Well, he sees the Nexus, and he knows it's pretty late, so he has to be anticipating something else. I mean, with the timing of his Nexus, he can't just be thinking, oh, well, that's a normally timed Nexus. So...
One Dark Templar, that's it. That's not going to do anything. Zest is in great shape. He's actually looking at a China ticket right now. He's got +1 attack, zooming out. He's got a good few units now. He can start a mortal production very, very soon. Depending on how... Oh, yeah, he's been a little bit greedy here. Going for the robotics bait, I guess he can be greedy because he knows his opponent's expanded too. But usually you'd like to squeeze out an immortal or 2 before the robotics bait just to make sure you're safe. But he's going straight for his robotics bait. He's got gases on the natural already. There's everything in his favor. And he's going to go in now, see the Dark Shrine, and see how far ahead he actually is in this game. Yeah. And he's so far ahead.
And sees Chrono Boost into Twilight Council as well, so he knows exactly to the T his opponent's level of tech right now.
He sees 10 Stalkers. He sees Twilight Council getting Blink. So he knows that he's got to be a little bit careful, just in case there is some random weird gateway timing that hits him out of the blue, because there's quite a few Stalkers out, so he's getting Immortals in. And I would want to increase my unit count a little bit too.
Hurricane's Forge is so late in comparison here for him as well. So he's, unless he does something soon or really ramps up his production in terms of the upgrades, he is going to fall behind pretty severely.
Yeah, he's just so far behind. It's the way that it shaped up. You know, Zest got that scout on the This, like you said, the Stalker really realized what he was up against, had the best reaction, really good time, everything was done well. And that's, I think, that separates a lot of, you know, really top-tier pro gamers to other ones, is sometimes the best way to describe, even at, you know, whatever level you play at home, to know the reaction to what you scout and do it straight away is so good to do. Just be like, oh, you're doing this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be fine. Like, that thought process makes for a very easy game sometimes for you.
Yeah, it does. He starts his +2 super fast as well. So, again, still keeping up in terms of those leads. Gets an Observer at the front and brings in the Dark Templar.
He's got another Observer, though.
Oh, okay. Okay, so not too bad.
Unlucky. Nice trick. No, not going to work, though. Nice trick.
It was a good attempt.
Oh, and he gets his opponents.
Oh.
Yeah, nice.
Everything is not going his way at all.
Yeah, this is not good. Hurricane's going for Zealot Charge here, which means he's probably going to be Oh, God.
2 extra gateways go down for Zest. So he's going to be going up to 8. He's going to have so much production in comparison.
Yeah, I like this from Zest. It doesn't necessarily mean he'll attack. He could, but whatever the case, he's going to be good to attack or good to defend, whatever he chooses.
Well, he's going to have 2 Colossi over no Colossi. So
yeah, but it is Zealot Charge, Immortal Archon, which can be a little bit more harder to fight, especially if you get caught out in the middle of the map. He's just got to be... he scouted all the extra gateways coming in for Hurricane too. So if I was Zest, I'd be like, I don't need to attack here. I'm just going to Chrono Boost for my Forge. I'm going to get +3 soon. I'm slowly going to make sure I'm safe to take a third. And remember on this map too, it's the third base, which is out wide in the open.
I like this by Hurricane because of how far he is behind. He has to do something, and I don't really think that's going to get scouted out unless Zest gets aggressive and throws down a pylon kind of near that base. I don't think he'll spot it.
Well, the Templar Archive suggests that we could see aggression from Zest, looking to dump his gas into Templar and his Zealots or minerals into Zealots. Could be pushing out here. He's got a low probe count for 2 base, 45. Warp Prism on the way. At the moment, it is looking like Zest wants to be aggressive to finish this one up.
Yeah. That's a lot of firepower. Unless the time warps are brilliant and the Immortals get on top of those 3 Colossi very quickly, Hurricane's going to have a really difficult time of actually breaking this army, I feel.
Yeah. Zest has got a very good army here.
And you got to remember, you know, if you qualify for China through this, it's all paid. It's all exclusive.
Right.
Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to just head to a tournament basically for free and try and push your way through a very, very strong tournament. Because again, we've seen the majority of the lineup, and it's a strong one. But Zest is a brilliant candidate to take it all.
Zest is looking at his opponent's army with that Hallucinate Phoenix. He's 4 Immortals and a bunch of Zealots. Interesting counter coming out from Hurricane, knowing that he's about to get attacked.
I think it's quite wise, because, I mean, he's going to lose a lot at the front, but, I mean, how do you actually beat this army anyway with 3 Colossi in there with what he has?
And he's getting the Dark Templar in somewhere, too. Probably to be aggressive with after killing the cannons, but Zest is going to go for this anyway.
All right, 3 Colossi doing a lot of damage at the front here. The Zealots have to move on back. The charge is there, yes, but it's really not doing a whole lot at all.
Look at the Zealots just melting to the Colossus race.
Dear. All the probes coming off the line as well. The Stalkers, they've pretty much had enough down at the natural of Zest. And, I mean, Zest has just taken a massive, massive supply lead. Yeah. The 3 Colossi just go completely uncontested.
And now the Stalkers are coming back, but it's too late. Zest hits a beautiful attack. Really, you know, just finishes off his lead in this game.
Yeah.
Had a lead for the majority of it and just closes it up like you'd expect a top-tier Protoss to do. +2 advantage, higher and better unit composition.
He's even seen the 3rd as well, but he doesn't care. I mean, there's no reason to at this point at all, with how inactive it is, how much of an investment it is that hasn't paid for itself as well. Zest, he's just going to plow down the natural. If he could get the Forge with +2, that would be amazing, but he's already flying away with this.
Zest is going to China. Zest is going to China.
And I'm looking forward to it, man. Getting to see Zest play even more StarCraft is always a treat.
Yeah, he's the best. He's absolutely one of the best.
And he's going to absolutely rip apart
2
this army.
DTs are in this. There's no Observer, obviously, because there's 2 Observers of Hurricanes that have picked off Zest, but he doesn't care. Yeah. He actually doesn't care. He's just going for it. He's trying to build an Observer back at home, but whatever. This game is as good as over. And unfortunately for Hurricane, a good start for him in this series, but he's going to have to drop down to the low bracket to attempt another run down there. We've seen, you know, Snoot in the European one last time do that very thing. And we'll see if Hurricane can attempt that down in the low bracket, but we have some great players down there too.
Yeah.
And it looks like Zest is going to just back off, wait for his Observer, and then go back in again.
Yeah, 4 Dark Templars doing the damage. It's quite a lot, but they melt away. And there you go. GG. Congratulations to Zest for being our first player moving on to the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen.
Yeah, and congratulations. Yeah, absolutely great thing to have him come to the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen, the first Intel Extreme Masters stop this season. And we'll see him there. And who will be joining him. We'll be jumping into our second series very shortly, and it's going to be Innovation versus Solar. I would love to get either of them. I think Solar is absolutely an incredible Zerg player. Actually, one of the best in Zerg versus Protoss, and is really up and rising recently. Yeah. But then again, who doesn't want Innovation at their tournament as well?
That's true. All right, guys, I think we're going to go to a break, and then when we are back, we'll have some TVZ action for you here at the Intel Extreme Masters Qualifiers.